It's now time for our feature presentation. And action! Everyone knows what a lifeboat is. It's a special type of boat that carries people to safety. But did you know there is another type of lifeboat? A lifeboat that will be used in space? It's called a crew return vehicle. The folks here at NASA have designed this special lifeboat for the International Space Station. The lifeboat will be attached to the station and will carry the crew back to Earth in case of an emergency. Once the service module is in place, it will be time for the astronauts to start living there and working to help put together the rest of the station. There are 2 spacecraft that will take astronauts to the space station: the Space Shuttle and the Russian-made Soyuz. The Space Shuttle will return to Earth following its mission to prepare for future missions, while the Soyuz will remain attached to the International Space Station. Even though the Soyuz will stay attached to the space station, it's not big enough to carry more than 3 people at one time. A much larger vehicle is needed to transport all the crew members back to Earth. Right now, engineers are building a lifeboat that will be able to carry up to 7 people. That's how many people will be able to live on the International Space Station once it is completely assembled. Wait, to carry that many people, it must be pretty big. As a matter of fact, this spacecraft is 9.1 meters long and weighs as much as 1.5 elephants. That's a total weight of 10,660 kilograms. If we place the lifeboat next to the space shuttle, it's only half as long. One of the neatest things about the crew return vehicle is it can fly by itself. It doesn't need a pilot. Very small holes in the nose of the aircraft measure airspeed. Antennas, also located in the nose of the aircraft, pick up information from the Global Positioning Satellite that helps the aircraft's flight control computer figure out which direction it is flying. It's the same sort of information some fishermen use to help find their favorite fishing spots. The lifeboat will land using a parafoil. The normal-sized parachute is about 14 square meters and takes only 1 to 3 seconds to open. This huge parachute at 687 square meters takes 45 seconds to inflate. Winches work like human arms, steering the craft toward the ground. The lifeboat will land on its skids that act like shock absorbers. It's like the kind on your parents' car. Without the absorbers, you'd be in for a very bumpy ride. The crew return vehicle also has a backup chute. Just in case the first chute doesn't open, there is another chute built into the back of the spacecraft. If the crew return vehicle is used by crew members, it will only take 2 to 3 hours to return home. The lifeboat is equipped to handle a trip up to 9 hours long. To make sure the crew return vehicle will work properly, engineers at NASA are testing it several times. The craft is taken up in the air about 7,010 meters, then dropped.
Touchdown, the vehicle's down, the vehicle is down.
The big test will be when the lifeboat is dropped from space with a landing in Australia. In the next few years, a large portion of the International Space Station will already be assembled. Engineers are expecting a full-size working lifeboat to be completely built by that time too. Remember, the crew return vehicle is a lifeboat for the astronauts living on the International Space Station, our amazing science laboratory in space. Be sure and join us again soon for Station Real Time.